We tend to think in terms of moments, that there are many moments, and we're experiencing this sequence of moments that are always different. But there's some capacity, some context that doesn't change. In essence, the substance of this present moment is stable, is permanent, and it produces this appearance of many moments. We seem to overlook that because we're focused on the changing appearance. And always there's this fundamental stability of now. And we are that now. We are the present moment. This very moment, no matter how it seems, is an opportunity to decode the nature of reality. It's your invitation, it's your portal, your way into the heart of truth. Keep stripping back the various layers of conditioning until you're left with nothing but the positivity of presence. You don't find nothingness, you find no thingness, which is everythingness, and it's the sameness that all is.
It's this same moment that always was, that always will be, but a human mind can't understand eternity. Reference points can seem to be built within that, so we kind of feel like we know where we are, don't we? But all of it is actually completely indescribable in every way, and it's just this, well, there actually is no words for it, so it's difficult to talk about, but it's just this immediate here-ness, patterning, always shifting, this immediate expression of the moment, and yet it's always fresh and is always free. You're literally always free in this moment. Even when you create your reference points, it creates linearity, creates the past, and then projects the future. There's this immediate arising, but you can't say what it is. You can never understand it. You can never get hold of it. Yet, we are absolutely not a mystery to ourselves. I am this moment, and I don't need to work it out because everything is here. That mode is in line directly with the intelligence of reality.
You're listening to the Nonduality podcast. This is Nic Higham from nisargayoga.com, and here with me is Paul Dobson. We tend to think in terms of moments, that there are many moments, and we're experiencing this sequence of moments that are always different. But there's some capacity, some context that doesn't change. We seem to overlook that because we're focused on these so-called moments that are coming and going. Imagine this train track of the present moment, and there's this succession of trains, moments moving past. And it does seem that in a way that the whole row of trains exist elsewhere, out of this present moment, beyond your current perception. They're coming in and they're moving out, going someplace else, like some other dimension. You're on the platform of the present moment, witnessing this play of the trains. And really, those trains are manifestations of this one platform, one present moment that actually doesn't really change. In essence, the substance of this present moment platform is stable, is permanent, and it produces this appearance of the train moments. So we can seem to get lost in focusing on how the present moment is and anticipate the next moment, ruminate about the last. And always there's this fundamental stability of now. And we are that now. We are the present moment. And all of what we witness as that platform, on that platform, is only made of us. It's not apart from us. It's not in conflict with us, really. And there's this continuous refresh. Like, this moment just keeps shape-shifting, expressing itself in so many ways. Yet this moment, this platform of true self, of reality, is, in a deeper way, consistent, is the most dependable space, and it is what you are.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I like the way you put that. The platform is the moment, and the trains, and the platform aren't two things. So it's like this whole moment arising. We imagine that these trains have come from somewhere, but they're actually just this immediate expression of the moment. I always say it's strange talking about this stuff, but it is so strange because we have these ideas of things like moments, past, present, future, and we can never actually find any of these things. What you could call a moment is an immediacy of this isness. It's this same moment that always was, that always will be, but the human mind can't understand eternity. Reference points can seem to be built within that. So we kind of feel like we know where we are, don't we? We say, well, that shift of patterning was yesterday, and this shift of patterning, is today, and then tonight, but all of it is actually completely indescribable in every way. And it's just this, well, there actually is no words for it, so it's difficult to talk about, but it's just this immediate here-ness, patterning, always shifting. If I go absolutely directly nakedly with the pure experience of this moment, I can't find any actual separation. The experience is always fluctuating and changing, isn't it? It's always dynamic. This timeless expression, each permutation of that. And yet there is, like you say, there's absolutely this undoubtable, absolute here-ness. It's always fresh and it's always free. You're literally always free in this moment. Even when you create your reference points, it creates linearity, creates the past, and then projects the future. This literally is the first moment right now. From there, you can really begin to explore the qualities of this moment, honestly.
Yeah. Being curious about the deeper nature of any given expression, any given appearance, and recognizing that that appearance is not separate. It's not made of some other substance. You're aware of a reference point, a memory, for example, and you then ask, what's the nature of this arising called memory? What's the deeper nature of it? Not in an analytical way, in an intellectual way, in an immediate, direct appreciation, following that line of inquiry always. What's the deeper nature of this? What do I really know about this reference point? What can I really say for sure about this? And you'll find that you can't say anything. You can't find anything, really. The memory label is a description, it's an interpretation of what? Of this immediate presence of being, of aliveness. And mysteriously, it's like all of these vibrations within this infinite ocean of presence are calling out to be characterized, interpreted. Like, look at me, call me something, name me, understand me, become acquainted with me. So you recognize yourself in me. So you awaken to self-knowledge, to self-awareness. Don't stay on any description. Don't stay at any level. Keep stripping back the various layers of conditioning until you're left with nothing but the positivity of presence. You don't find nothingness. You find no thingness, which is everythingness. And it's the sameness that all is. And it's what you are. And what you are is always shifting. And you appear as reference points. And you, at some point, although there are no points, you start to celebrate the dynamic expression of being, because you know what this truly is. What it truly is nothing other than you. There's a sort of celebratory curiosity and lightness of being. This can all appear as it is. And even if there isn't adding to it, that too is the arising of being, is the expression of self.
Exactly. There's no problem with the adding to it, is there? Really, there's not an issue. Those descriptions aren't true. They're not truth, but they're something you can play with. It's saying, yeah, name me. Why not? I mean, you could try and put some description on it, like it's energy appearing to itself, God appearing to itself in various patterns, but it's just nothing will capture it. But if you're finding yourself stuck in these labels and stuck in these descriptions, you're a human being that's been born, will die, has various tasks to do. You're a finite being an individual amongst other individuals. And ultimately, you are at the whim of whatever the weather or reality happens to be doing. And you are incredibly vulnerable. That is a story. Yet none of that can be found. That has to be made up in the moment to be believed in. It's, if you look deeply into your experience just now, and don't refer to memory, don't refer to any intellectual ideas about things, then what is it? It's experience. You can say that. What experience is a pretty good word for it, but even that does fall short of what it is. It's a positivity, a kind of radiance, a kind of energetic outburst. There's this immediate arising, but you can't say what it is. You can never understand it. You can never get hold of it.
Yeah, so it seems mysterious. You can't put it into words. You can't conceptualize it. You can't quantify it. And that makes it seem sort of unfindable or impossible to reconcile with. And yet, it's all you are aware of. It's all you've ever known. It's the essence of every experience, every passing appearance of this timeless moment. It seems mysterious because we're coming from a certain mindset of having this desire to chunk things up, to arrive at conclusions, definitions, interpretations, to give us a sense of safety. But don't come at it that way. Come at it in a very natural, effortless space of noticing. Only notice. No effort required. Only notice this moment. Only notice it. No need to do anything else but to notice. What is the deeper nature of this? The deeper nature of my experience? What is experiencing? You are this here, nowness. You're not a mystery to yourself. You are only yourself, so you can't really forget yourself. You can't overlook yourself. You can seem to, and that's due to naming, dividing, and the naming and the dividing is actually for the purpose of self-discovery. You are self-knowing, self-shining, self-radiant, and your manifestations appear to remember that which you've never forgotten. So it's completely paradoxical when we try to talk about it. But talking about it is, as you said, it's magical. The fact that there are words. Presence just is. Yeah, presence is presence. But the fact that presence can appear and be configured in infinite ways, that's astonishing.
Absolutely. What is it you said? You just said, I really liked, we are not a mystery to ourselves. Yeah, when you start looking at it philosophically and intellectually, it's like the biggest mystery possible, isn't it? You know, you try and work it out with your mind, and it will just be a never-ending mystery. Yet, we are absolutely not a mystery to ourselves. You know, when we just are as this moment, without trying to work it out in any way, there's no mystery there. And it's difficult to kind of understand that from a human point of view, because we're so used to using our minds to work things out, doing our day-to-day tasks, you know, intellectually taking things apart, working it out, that it's almost so alien to us, that mode of just, well, quite simply being as this presence, without trying to understand it or work it out or intellectualize it. When you rest in that mode more, it becomes more of a primary mode, you could say. It becomes quite obvious that mode is in line directly with the intelligence of reality, and that the thinking mode is, while beautiful in its own way, is a limited mode. But I just invite anyone who might be listening just to spend time with just being, not working out the moment, just being as the moment, concept free, interpretation free, nakedly, innocently, like just pretend you have absolutely no clue what's going on and being with it. There's a different way of being with reality, with life, as reality, of course. And it's more like, I am this moment and I don't need to work it out because everything is here. It's like the seed of reality is there. Like all of the information is like, it's, the hyper compressed into that seed of the moment. And it's not like it needs to go through this process of thinking. It's like, it's there, it's immediate. And that is what we are. So you go out of the time mode of thinking, the linearity of thoughts, and you go into the timeless, eternal immediacy, the freshness. That's our inherent mode. And actually that has a lot of strength to it. So you don't actually have to spend that much time in it to realize how much strength that has, because it is what you are. It is what this is. And eventually you don't have to make an effort to spend time in that. It is obviously always that, regardless of the concepts, regardless of the thinking, regardless of the stories. And it doesn't matter because you realize it's all the same.
Yeah, it reminds me of a couple of quotes. I'll just share those with you. First of which is by Khalil Gibran. I discovered the secret of the sea in meditation upon a dewdrop. That dewdrop, this present moment, holds the essence of the sea. Regardless of the shape of the dewdrop of the moment, the nature of reality is encoded in that appearance, no matter what it is. That's an opportunity right there to decode the nature of reality. It's your invitation, it's your portal, your way into the heart of truth. So explore with non-interpretive, sensation level experiencing, and don't try to get to the bottom of what's here. Don't try to reach a conclusion. Only notice effortlessly. It's all there. And Wei Wu Wei says, there is no mystery whatever, only inability to perceive the obvious. What you are, the nature of reality is not a mystery. It's literally here. It's this, it's all of this. This is reality. And you can't get any closer to it because there's no space between you and reality, because you are reality. And really, it's not you, a separate reality, getting to know your deeper reality. There's only reality. And while we're trying to recognize reality through the usual system of interpretation, it seems to be a mystery. But beyond that usual system, as we've been saying, there's this unnameable richness of what has always been here, what has always been known. And it's timeless, and it's reality itself. It's what you are.
Absolutely. That's our advantage, which I've said before, is that we are the dewdrop, which is not separate from the sea. So ultimately, we are the sea. I'm just going on my own experience with things, and it's tempting to try and work out where awareness is, where experience is, and where experience meets the world, and trying to somehow reconcile all of that. And that's not actually how things are. There's not experience and a world. There's only experience. The world is hypothetical. Anything outside of this experience now is hypothetical. There may or may not be something else, but you will never ever know it. So we're sticking with what's true, what's here, and what you can say for sure. And what you can say for sure is I'm experiencing. Really, even that doesn't need to be said. It's too simple for words. It's going in the opposite direction. It is obvious. It isn't obvious if you try and think about it. It isn't obvious if you try and work it out. It isn't obvious if you try and use awareness as some kind of separate thing to try and work out where awareness is versus where the world is, and how do I do that? And it's more simple than that. It's more simple than awareness. It's more simple than experience, actually. It's simpler than any words. Because it's timeless, because it's spaceless, there is no separation in what you are. I mean, immediacy is about as good as I can say. This is the problem, isn't it? There's just this life. This.